Yo, what's happening, everybody? It's your boy, Earth Mac, the mad scientist.
And Vivo.
And this is the Orange Phoenix Show Anime Breakdown Live. And Vivo, how are you today?
Good. Just got back from a week long business trip in, where was I? Newport, Rhode Island. Definitely great vacation spot. I ate lobster with like every single meal. And
Seafood,
I'm
man. Seafood.
yeah, and I'm getting ready to compete on Saturday. So just trying
Okay.
to take it easy and see how I do.
Let's see. For me, man, this weekend's been pretty. It's been pretty chill. Well, I'll say pretty chill because Saturday I went to the Black Food Truck Festival in Charleston. So, and oftentimes I run into my niece at random points. Like we don't plan this. We just run into each other whenever we travel. And I think her traveling bug got it from me and my brother, honestly, because we always just run into to each other randomly. It could be like 100 miles away, boom, run right into each other. Crazy. And she's a foodie like me, so the food truck festival was really really dope. It's a whole weekend, so you can do the VIP for the whole weekend. They have workout sessions early in the morning before you do the food truck deal. They got parties going on Friday night, Saturday night. I think it ended on Sunday, but the I did the Saturday only because this was my first time going, and had the time of my life. I had crab rice for the first time, like loved it, and crab rice, fried fish. I got kettle corn, pizza flavored kettle corn. It was a lot of black owned restaurants, like food trucks around, so that's a really dope concept, and I will be back next year. Now on the 8th, there is a wine, beer, and arts festival in Charleston. Like Charleston got a lot of festivals going on, and this weekend coming here in Columbia, we got a crawfish festival. So we got all this stuff going on this weekend. And now Sunday was so relaxing because something came in the mail before I left for Charleston on Saturday, right? So I know we talked offline about TikTok Shop and some of the cool things on TikTok Shop, and it got me again. So something came in the mail, and it was supposed to come like next week, but it came early. And this is the X2 Game Stick. So what people don't know with the X2 Game Stick is that you got these emulators, right? And it looks just like a USB stick, but it got an HDMI in. So all you got to do is just plug it on the back of your TV and sync your two controllers, which is like PlayStation controllers, and that's it. You know, you got access to 40,000 like games, whether it's for like Sega Master System, Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, Nintendo, Virtual Boy, Game Boy Advance, PlayStation 1, Dreamcast, N64. Stuff of that nature. Now, I will tell the Geek Corner that whenever you get these preloaded emulators, whether it's a game stick or I'm trying to think of another one, like the Abernic, like the handhelds, count on, if it says 40,000 games, not all 40,000 games are going to play. They're just, and there are some repeats. Like you might see repeated titles. Like you might see like Japan, Europe, and US version of that title.
Oh, okay.
But one flaw I will say that's in it with the PlayStation 1 emulators is that some of the games don't have the background music. It's just the sound effects. So it kind of kills that experience for me because I see battle. Yeah, it's like Battle Arena to Shinden. That's on there. 1, 2, and 3. Bloody Roar is on there, which I'm scared to actually start it because I want background music on Bloody Roar. But Bloody Roar 1 and 2, like Metal Gear Solid has music. I mean, you can't play Metal Gear Solid without music. That's like the big part of it. However, Dreamcast had a list of games, and Dead or Alive 2 is difficult to emulate, especially for like a game stick, so it's gonna be a little bit glitchy. But the other games that's on there, no issues. Like NBA Showtime, NBA on NBC. Man, when I tell you I'm putting some hours on that thing yesterday, I put in some hours on that thing. And the main reason why I bought it is are you familiar with the term MAME, like MAME?
No.
So Maine. Okay. You ever notice like when you go into like these anime conventions, right? You know the arcade room, right?
There's
Like,
arcade rooms.
yeah, you never seen the arcade rooms, the video game rooms?
Like the sections?
No, the rooms. That like they got
No,
rooms.
they got rooms.
Yeah, they always had rooms. Wait,
I
wait,
must
wait,
not
wait.
have
Hold
been
up.
exploring.
Time
to
out.
the
You
fullest.
definitely haven't. Hold on. So okay, you've been to the dealer's room, right?
No, what is that?
The dealer's room is like, like how can I say this? Like different figures and like trinkets, like anime trinkets and stuff like that, where you purchase things like, DVDs and then you got the artist alley, which is all the artwork that these independent artists sell.
Yeah, I mean like the vendor hall, like.
Yeah, we call it dealer's room because it's two. There's artist alley, which is art only, and dealer's room, which is like the figurines and the DVD sets and stuff like that.
We call it the vendor hall, and then we still have artist alley. So I mean, I wandered through countless of both of those.
Okay.
You have me over here like, am I missing a core experience when I'm going to these conventions?
You definitely are, because there is a video game room. Like anyone, on the East Coast, I know for a fact, every convention I've been to, there's always been a room, just like it was dealer's room, the vendor's room, and the artist hall. There is a room that has nothing but video games in there. Open, like Dance Dance Revolution, Initial D, arcade cabinets, like actual consoles, like lined up.
Yo.
People playing, like arcade cabinets, like set out for people to like sit down and play, stuff like that. Like it's every convention I've been to had that. Like it's kind of like a, I wouldn't say decompression, but they have video game tournaments and stuff.
We have, I've been to ones where I guess it's not called that. It's like, but it's the same concept where they, sometimes it's not, I think they have both. So it's like either board games, card games, or they have video games. And it's just a section that's like cordoned off for people to go in and they just game. I want to say they have it at Motor City, and I don't remember. I'm sure that they have it at C2E2. I probably just didn't pay that much attention to it. C2E2 is so huge.
Yes. Yes.
I think I was there one time. The last time I was there, it was like for 6 hours, and I think was I in my Predator suit last time I went? That was a really long convention. My foot was numb by the end of it. Mostly because of my costume was pushing into a pressure point.
Yeah. Man. So you actually walked into that room before. They had all the arcade stuff in there?
Well, it wasn't necessarily a room. It was just a section. Oh, like it wasn't an actual room. It was just hey, come into this section and we have all the stuff set up for you guys to game.
Oh, okay. Okay. So there's an arcade cabinet, right? And it got like an X on it or whatever, but it has all these preloaded games on the cabinet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so most of the stuff is like MAME, which is the actual abbreviation is abbreviation, but it's like multi-platform arcade emulator, basically. So the original arcade games, like the stuff that we used to play back in the day, like Pizza Hut, and there is thousands like of games like this.
You said Pizza Hut. That took
like
me back.
Stuff like that, yo. So the main reason why I bought that X2 game stick is to play those MAME games, because you cannot find X-Men like the beat 'em up with Nightcrawler, Dazzler, Storm, and Colossus. You can't find that unless you buy the arcade 1-up machine, which is going to run you about $600-700 maybe. That's on there. WWF WrestleFest, like with the big sprites, and you had Jake the Snake Roberts, Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, and stuff like that, like an arcade deal.
Yeah,
like that is on there. I saw it on TikTok Shop, but somebody was running it live, right? So I have emulators here. Like I have like a little small box a friend of mine gave me. WrestleFest is not on there, obviously. But the first question I asked him, I'm like, hey, is WrestleFest on there? Can you play that? Because I want to see him turn it on and see if it actually works. And it works. And I was like, sold. That was the only reason, really. I'm ashamed to say it, but no, I'm not. I'm not ashamed to say it. Having that one game on there made me buy that game stick and made sure that it was playable.
Sometimes it's just it be like that. Like you just need the one reason. The one reason.
Yeah, that's it. That was like, hey, you got WrestleFest on there. You have X-Men on there, and it was like, yeah, and they're doing it live, and he's listening to it, and he's like, boom, he played it, and I was like, all right, it's sold. I bought it. Like while he was doing it live, I bought it. It was like maybe $25-$30. The regular price is like $70, but you know, TikTok Shop got like stuff heavily discounted. So
yeah,
I've been playing X-Men to beat 'em up, WWF WrestleFest, like TMNT, like all the other games. It's on there. It's a whole list. I favorite them, like shoot 'em up games. I added those on there, like In the Hunt, a bunch of they got Neo Geo games on there and stuff like that. So that was the main reason why I bought that X2 game stick, because you could take that anywhere, literally. And the controller has 2 AAA batteries. Like you put that in there, obviously that's gonna last a hot minute. And so you can do that in your travels, plug that up on the back of your TV, side by side with somebody. Like you don't have to haul your console over. I mean, obviously it's not gonna play the current games that we play, like, you know, like Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, Helldivers, stuff like that. It's not gonna do that. You know, you take your gaming laptop for that. But any retro stuff, like if you're on like a long trip and you don't feel like damaging or risk damaging your current console, just take that with you. So I had a hell of a time just yesterday, man. I was all day. I haven't gamed like that in a long time. Like I ordered a pizza and everything. It's crazy.
I slept all day yesterday. I woke up for hydration and food and then got back in bed and went back to sleep. Listen, I didn't get back from my trip until 2 a.m. on Friday. Then I had to go into the office. Yeah. Thankfully, my boss was like, oh, well, once you finish with all your appointments, you can work from home at, you know, starting at 2 p.m. And I came back home, logged back on, but ended up falling back asleep. And then I woke up Saturday, worked out, and then slept the rest of the day, and then slept all day Sunday.
Man, yeah, I didn't sleep like that. I was like, I know after this show's over, I'm going back in that room. I'm play NBA Showtime. I'm calling anybody out. Like, if you want to play NBA Showtime with me, like, we can run it. We can run the court together. Like, but we got a jam-packed show for you guys today, man. We not like. Shout out to the Geek Corner members that voted. Go Loser Ranger actually won, and in second place, Kaiju No.8. So those two anime we are definitely going to cover, like up from the first episode all the way up to the current. Also, we're going to cover Ninja Kamui episode 11. Episode 12. Yeah, episode 12. And definitely going to cover all those things. And we felt like the Geek Corner was trolling us the first time around when they gave us Brave Bang Bravern, because, man, it was a little bit of a chore to going through that one. But y'all picked some gems this time. Y'all picked some gems. Kaiju No.8, and which is not underrated, by the way. And Go Loser Ranger. So the first thing I want to cover is Go Loser Ranger, as per the thumbnail. So Vivo, I know, you know, you just recently watched Go Loser Ranger. You just binge watched it. So I need your thoughts first before I even jump into Loser Ranger.
Okay, so it took me a minute. It took me a little bit of to and I don't even know that I'm all the way into it. I actually, I just watched the fourth episode. I think I might starting to get into it because I think D is hilarious. I was telling you before we started, I was like, he's just so disagreeable.
Yes.
He's like, listen, he's trying to lead a revolution. And I'm gonna need his people to get on board with it.
Exactly. Like, I'm a body of war. Like,
yes.
What's wrong with
you? He's like, it's funny to me. His personality I think is hilarious. Is there a steam plug in it? It sure is. Okay, if it comes over here, I might run, but hopefully it doesn't. I don't like things that fly at my face. I like his personality. I think he's hilarious.
Yeah.
But the thing is that he has such big aspirations for himself when he's literally like I'm like, bro, you need to get into the gym, do something. Like,
I mean, can he grow though? Like body type wise, considering how he's constructed, he's basically immortal.
he is.
Technically.
And so I know that he said that he was really good at mimicking humans. But we haven't seen him do anything like when they were like, first of all, the entire premise of the show is very interesting, and screw the dragon keepers because they can kick rocks. They basically are keeping the monsters in basically
slave camps.
It's basically slavery. Like, we will kill you, but you guys have to play along, and they're basically profiting off of the monsters.
Yeah.
So I imagine that he could create a monster like his comrade did. I think it was Z, that was the tiger monster. But he said that he was really good at mimicking humans. I like the premise, and I'm interested to see where it will go. I really want him to have some kind of a power up, because right now he's basically like, yeah, he needs a little bit of a.
He needs divine artifact power.
He something. He needs something. And he seems to be picking up this ragtag team of allies. Listen, Hibiki is ride or die.
Yes. Yo.
I was like, did he just actually? Because at the end, in episode 4, like when you think that D goes over the side, it's really Hibiki, and I'm looking at him like, where's his hand? Is he like hiding it? And then it flashes back to him like taking his weapon and actually chopping his. I was like, yo, he
did it with
y'all
no
aren't
hesitation.
even best friends. He's your best friend now.
Yeah, like your bro just literally cut his whole hand off without any hesitation. He didn't squint. He didn't do anything. He was like, yo.
D was like, what are you doing? That won't grow back.
Oh, no. You're going to switch places with me. That's what we're going to do. And you're going to run as me.
That's his brother.
Yeah.
His brother from another species. It's fine.
Hibiki is ride or die for sure, man.
Yeah. I like how, what is his name? Akabane? Is that his?
Yeah.
Yeah. The red dragon keeper is unhinged. The fact that he just kind of like exploded his first lieutenant or whatever.
His first rank. And so here's my thing. Like, with characters that is so relaxed and so reserved and says things with a smile.
They crazy.
They're really maniacal.
Period.
And so, like, when it came down Tsukigiri, she wasn't listening to nobody in that luncheon. She was like, I ain't got an answer to you. And then, the red keeper was like, the protocol. What do you say? You do something wrong. All right, I'm sorry. That kind of thing. Like, her tune switched. And then my thing is this. Your first rank, right? Like, in your ear, talking in your face. It's like, yo, you messed up, cuz. You need to retire. I need to take your place. And I'm going to run this shit, like, different than you run it. I was like, bro.
I wonder if she's a monster too.
I don't think she is. I think she just.
Well, the only reason why I say that is because when D first transformed into Hibiki, he didn't match his eyes. He had the same eyes, and they were kind of vacant, like they didn't have any shine. And Hibiki has like really striking green eyes.
Yeah,
he has the exact same eyes that D has when he transforms. And so I'm like, and then they made mention of like when the Rangers paid a visit to the monster fortress, they had made mention that, people or the monsters that didn't or disagreed with how they were going about things, like basically bailed and jumped ship.
Yeah.
So that to me left the possibility like, oh, well, maybe she's one of the monsters that went missing and they just don't know. Because I mean,
it could be the case. Like, I know I mispronounced her name earlier. Suzukiri.
Yeah.
So Suzu is somebody that I got to watch like real closely, because from the surface it's like she just bored and she wants to see something interesting happen. It's like, and like she, especially like the third episode, right? So the third episode, that they infiltrated, and she's in his ear, and she was like, those teenage dramas where you help the cute guy out, blah 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 blah, and you're like, why are you talking to me? Like he's down the
He's
hall.
so angry. He's so angry the entire time. And then he runs into Akabane. He's like, let me call you back.
Yeah. And no. It was the it was, oh no, he did run into Akabane. He's talking about on the roof, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I am interested in the other keepers. I know the Red Keeper is the leader, and I do like the fact with this anime so far, what I've seen is that you kind of know what happened, especially with the Red Keeper like completely destroying his first rank up against that wall and continue to eat food like nothing happened. Like,
covered in blood, mind you, covered in blood. Like,
oh, shall we continue?
Like, did you get any of that in your food? How about you get a new plate at least?
Nah, he clearly didn't care. So it's like, and if you look at the other lieutenant that D beat to death with a golf club. So what I do like about this anime is that it's not too over the top when it comes to violence, because you kind of got an idea what happens. But then again, this is only 4 episodes, so it may get more unhinged as it goes, because D is an interesting character though. Like, he's definitely confrontational.
And it's like he wants all the smoke, but then when he realizes, he's like, oh, actually. But while I was watching it, I had to stop. So in my mind, I had to like disassociate these from like the regular Power Rangers and the putties.
I didn't. I just let it ride, because I that's what I saw. I saw a correlation between that, and I was like, I don't want to separate the two. I just want to see what happens, because
like it was just in my mind. I kept seeing like a putty that was self-aware.
Yeah.
Because in Power Rangers they didn't make any. They made that annoying random noise that. Yep. But I'm like, oh my gosh, the monsters, they have personalities and feelings, and I'm for their and the little boy that kept cheering him on. Do your best.
Yeah.
I'm Team Monster.
Listen, like these, I like the concept of evil Power Rangers though, man. I mean, obviously there was Psycho Rangers in Power Rangers in Space, and that was our first brush with like an evil Power Ranger version, and we loved that storyline. That's probably one of the best storylines in Power Rangers.
If you're really invested in the entire Power Rangers lore, there's like an entire there's entire arcs as to why like there are evil Rangers.
Yeah.
Like, and they're not just like garden variety evil. They are evil.
Yeah, they do things. I mean, honestly and truly, like the Boom comics, like the Modern Morphin Power Rangers comics, I feel like if they just clean slate everything that's on TV and just put the comic book version on the big screen, like you could make a movie, you can make movies out of this. Like this could be a serious franchise. If you just incorporate that into the big screen, it would make tons of money. Like
it would,
boatloads.
But I would say that I feel like some of those storylines aren't necessarily kid friendly.
No, and it shouldn't be. It should be
rated R.
Like it should be like I say PG-13. I say you can get away with it PG-13 because like the trauma of Tommy and Rita, because he was suffering from PTSD because Rita was in his head like as a spiritual form, saying, hey, you won't fit in and this and third, and he's at odds with Jason. Jason's still the leader. And
but wasn't Rita a Power Ranger at one point and then she turned evil?
That I don't know because I haven't been like jumping into the lore like that, but I do know Rita is way more powerful than we give her credit for, especially in the show. Like she's a problem.
wasn't Zordon the one that basically locked her away for thousands of years because she basically is a war criminal? Like the atrocity she committed.
Yeah.
Like she did some real.
Because I think at one point Zed joined the Rangers like as an alliance.
Yeah, he did.
Like to go up against Rita. Like
See,
that was one of them
I'm-
situations.
Now I'm gonna go back and start getting into Power Rangers because now I'm curious. Now I'm gonna do my research now that I'm watching Go Loser Rangers.
See, stuff like that makes you interested because I mean, a lot of people, well, some people don't realize that Power Rangers come from the Tokusatsu, Super Sentai, stuff like that. That's from overseas. Like that's all like Japanese stuff. So, so a Loser Ranger, and I think you first sent me this, like the trailer for it. And, it's not completely over the top. I do like D. I do say, out of all the characters so far, D is the most dangerous. Mainly because of what Suzukiri said. She was like, can all of you do this? Or just you? You're like, because I feel like y'all could have infiltrated any of the Ranger facilities and got tons of information. And will destroy it from the inside out. Which, honestly and truly, she's absolutely correct. Because the most dangerous thing is intelligence.
Yep.
But he's the only one that can do that, as far as we know. And then right below that, I would say Suzukiri is dangerous because her facial expression don't change.
Ulterior motives,
Yes.
and she's like a rank 1, isn't she? Or second?
Yeah, I mean, I want to say she's a rank 1 because her being at that luncheon, because it was only one of each.
Yes,
of each
that's
color.
true. Yeah, and she's in the R&D section. I bet she's getting into stuff. For sure.
Yo, the way she antagonizes D, she was like, "Oh, it's taking you a little bit too long to actually mimic Akabane. Why don't you just turn yourself into a chair for right now?" And I know what she was getting at.
Wait, no, when they were in the restaurant and she was just casually eating her pancake and he was getting all like big in his britches and she was just like off with his head. I was like, nobody in this restaurant just saw you decapitate this man.
Yo,
and she did it twice.
Yes. She was like, okay, you feel some kind of way. Dang, how would people feel? They know a monster is right here in this restaurant. And this
best believe he straightened up right quick. Right quick.
Damn, you got me. You got me. Yeah, so she's definitely dangerous. I do find it interesting though that each ranger has their own facility, like their own.
Garrison.
Yeah, they got their own like separate army or whatever. And also the thing I was thinking about, like the people that, like the third episode, D was like, "Come on, let's fight. Let's fight to the death." He was like, "I'm not gonna fight you without an audience." And like he didn't even flinch until the helicopter showed up. He like, "All right, let's get it. Let's do this thing for the cameras real quick,
unhinged,
so we can get paid."
He's like, my sponsors have to know.
Yeah, they gotta know. And my thing is though, is like how they're able to keep this from the public eye. Like no one like sees this as strange,
right?
Like you running a slave camp up. I mean, I don't think they can look that high, or whatever the case may be. But they're not really killing the monsters. Really, not in the arena because they leave their artifacts at their facility. They just use it to transform, do what they got to do, and then dip. Mm-hmm. And then I know one of D's friends got eliminated with an artifact right in front of him.
Yep.
Yeah, F. So I'm curious about this artifact.
Listen. The theatrics that Akabane used to defeat his friend was outrageous. I'm like, he can't even transform. Like you basically, it was the equivalent to him dropping a nuke on him. Like,
yeah,
like really, sir, was all that necessary? Overkill. Like that entire explosion, you really needed all of that. I was irritated by it.
Hey man, look, you got to make it look flashy for the audience because the audience was looking, man. And
F was literally just standing there like, well, I guess this is it. Like, wasn't
he just like, oh, it's taking my life. I'm done with it. So with Akabane, I think his downfall is his pride. Like he's really a prideful character.
Yeah, and
the Yellow Ranger though, that's the one that's intriguing to me. That's the one that's always smiling, like ear to ear, and it's never like upside down frown. Like maybe Suzukiri and that Ranger have. Well, actually, speaking of relationships, it seems as though that Suzukiri and Akabane have some sort of a relationship. Because you remember that hallway scene, and it was talking on the radio, talking in his ear, and she like, go down the hallway, go down this, and you're like, how you know what this stuff is? And then she said something that was kind of catty, and then he cut her off, and then he kept on going. So, do you think they had a relationship, or it's still possible. Have it?
Maybe it's possible. Maybe she's doing what she's doing because she wants to get back at him.
Or Akabane know about this the whole entire time. And they like making it interesting for themselves. Because it's certain things I pay attention to. Because like the Yellow Ranger, the Pink Ranger, she says like, is it becoming redundant or something like that? We doing the same thing over and over, that kind of thing. So I don't know. He could be in on it, and D just a pawn in this. But
we'll find out.
Yeah, D's pretty damn smart. Like I will say that he's probably the most dangerous character. And now that he's inside, I don't think he's gonna go to the Red Keeper's area though. I don't think he's gonna make it there. I think he's probably gonna go. Who haven't we seen? Either blue or green. I think that's probably what's going to end up happening.
Probably blue, because he's currently on the chopper with the blue first in command. So they're probably going to head back to their garrison first. Yeah.
And each Ranger division has a different job, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, this is one of those anime where I'm impatient, and I'm gonna wait till the next week because I read somewhere, I think it was Black Anime Nerds, that Urban Anime Lounge. I'm sorry, that someone commented like there was a little chunk that was missing leading up to that luncheon, like just like chapter 6 through 10, kind of give you context on why things are the way they are. And he was encouraging people to actually read that chapter. So what I'm going to do is probably more than likely pick up Go-Go Loser Ranger and read up on some chapters because I'm very much interested in Go-Go Loser Ranger, and episode 4 is the best episode so far.
Yeah.
3 being it. Now, if you haven't seen Go-Go Loser Ranger, I would definitely say, give it a few episodes because it's really setting the tone on what's going on. Because up until the third episode, you really didn't know how truly evil the Dragon Keepers are. It just look like, this look like assholes for the most part.
Yeah.
But psychotic killers, we didn't see that until like the 4th episode, and speaking of which, they was all relaxed after they saw him plastered on the wall too. And it was like,
yep,
yeah, I lost my appetite. I don't want to eat right now.
He's probably gone through more than one first.
Absolutely.
First lieutenant or whatever.
Listen, as soon as that dude said, I'm gonna take your job and I'm gonna run this thing differently than you, that will set him off. He like, you might be right. Oh shit, you're not stronger than me. And clearly he has no restraint because didn't somebody stop him? You're like, hey, hold on.
I mean, I think Pink Ranger was like, stop, and he had already done what he needed to do. So
yeah, he's like, I'll find me another one. They'll rank up, whatever.
Yep.
So the next anime we're gonna cover is Kaiju number 8, man. I'm gonna tell you,
severely invested in this one.
Yo, let me tell you, this is another one. I will read the entire manga by the end of the week. I'm gonna just be honest. I'm gonna be done with this manga by the end of the week, and up until the most current. Vivo, the amount of marketing Crunchyroll did for this thing, they did countdowns for the first episode, and that's the first thing you see. So the opening for this thing probably
it was cool. It was great.
Yes. You take it away, man. You go ahead. You go ahead and get that Kaiju No .8.
I mean, I really did like that opening. Even if it was all CGI and stuff, it looked really cool the way they did it.
Yeah.
The song also slaps too. But I really like. So, to me, this gave like major Fire Force vibes, just in the premise. But then also, I really like Kafka as the main character, also because he's older, and 2 because he also has he has mannerisms like Zenitsu from Demon Slayer, like how he gets flustered.
Yeah. Okay, I can see that.
But he's hilarious. I love that. But I at the end of the episode where they're in the hospital, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna try for the anti defense force exam again, and then he was going like this, and then he put his fist down and he just saw that little mini kaiju.
Yeah, he's like, I found you.
He was like blank stare. But when he initially transformed, and he was just trying to open the door, and he just went to do the normal motion and then just demolished the wall. Or when he was trying to go out the window and he demolished the side of the building.
Don't know your own strength. The funniest part of that first episode though was that old man in the hall. That was the funniest.
They were like, no, but oh, what is his name?
Ichikawa?
Yes, Ichikawa. So they're screaming at each other. The old man hobbles over and looks. They're still screaming at each other because they're surprised. And then they both look over, and the old man is like, and then Ichikawa was like, I think he's calling you. I think he's calling you.
like no shit he is.
And then they screamed some more.
Like the old man was shaking, like.
And then he tipped over and was foaming at the mouth. I was like,
he's gonna be all right. Nah, no, he's not.
Oh my gosh. And then what was it, episode 2?
Yeah.
When Ichikawa went to take their or was it episode 3? Well, it was episode 2 where they got the exam results or whatever. Yeah. So Ichikawa goes to take his exam results too. And he's just sitting on top of the dead kaiju eating some sushi. And he turns around and he's transformed just out in public. And Ichikawa got so angry. He was like, what is wrong with your face? And then he tried to transform back. But he still had the Baraka mouth.
Yeah.
And Ichikawa was not impressed. The number of times Ichikawa was not impressed with him, especially in the last episode where Hibino, she was bold for that. She just picked their car up and chucked it. I was like, you couldn't have set it down in the space. You had to make a statement.
Yeah.
That's rude. But then he just goes over casually, picks the car up, and then writes it. And Hibino is like, does he have a suit too? What?
Yeah.
And so she walks off, and then Ichikawa is pissed.
Yeah.
Pissed. And Kafka was like, I just transformed part of my body. And then Ichikawa basically tears him. It's so funny because Ichikawa is in his mid-20s, early 20s.
He's younger, yeah.
But he calls Kafka is his senpai.
Yeah.
But really, it's he's the older one in this relationship. He's so stressed out.
Because he's next to Kaiju, man. It's like, I gotta go back to that old man because every part of his body was shaking, and he was just like he just did this stuff right here, and then he stopped, and he was like, "Mute."
They were like, "Where'd you pull that cell phone from?" He was quick to dial it too.
Like, yo, I'm a snitch immediately, dog. This shit ain't right. like, I might have like 30 minutes left.
But their collective panic, that was so fun. Oh my gosh, I was crying. And then when Kafka fights that kaiju for the first time,
yeah,
he was like, "Get them to safety." And then he was like, Ichikawa was like, "What are you about to do?" "I'm gonna punch it as hard as I can." And as he's like getting ready in his punch stance and he starts powering up, Ichikawa was like, "We gotta go.
We gotta go."
And he punched it so hard. Oh my.
Like,
it disintegrated.
Completely splattered the kaiju.
And then he was surprised. He was like, "Whoa, I'm really strong." Like, bro, really?
Like, no shit, man. Oh, he tried to like make the little girl feel comfortable. he
was like, "Smile." No. And then she had a panic attack.
His tongue like wagging all out. Like,
Wait. The most hilarious part was when they were initially running away from the hospital.
Yeah.
And he morphed into whatever that strange octopus creature was as he's running. Ichikawa is like, what mode is that? He eats the bird.
Change forms?
He eats the bird. He's like, "Oh, I'm eating a live bird." Ichikawa was like, "What are you doing?" And then he changes back and he's running. He's like, "I gotta pee."
Yo, that part, he's like,
Ichikawa was like, "Don't do that. How are you going to even do that? I don't even see the parts for it." And he was like, "I don't know, but my body is ready." And then it comes out of his chest.
He just pissed out of his chest.
As he's running, he's like blushing as he's doing it.
Like, all this is going on as Ichikawa is running, looking at all this stuff. Like, what are you doing?
And then Kafka just passes out on the ground, grabbing his nipples like, "Oh."
He's grabbing.
Like, nobody's gonna want to date me. Yeah. That's the least of your problems.
Man.
Oh my god. Oh.
This show right here, man, I was like, it's a perfect mix of comedy and seriousness, man. I was like,
it's so funny.
Like, that's a comedic duo right there, man. From that old man to Kafka, like, pissing out his chest, because I did not see that coming.
I didn't either. I was waiting for like the flap to like the pop down or something. That came from left field. I was not. when it showed that, I cracked up. I was laughing so hard. I was like, "What?
Like, what are you doing?" Ichikawa is so annoyed. Like, please stop that. Please stop that.
He's like, "I can't." He's like, "Hold it. I can't."
So I'm 30-something years old. I can't piss publicly.
Like, his little buddy did in both directions.
Oh my god.
At the same time.
At the same time, man.
Oh my god, it was so funny.
Episode 2, man. Between episode 1 and 2, that's definitely comedy relief, man. But I will say, episode 3, we get introduced to Kikuru. Well, actually, episode 2, we got introduced to Kikuru, but we actually learned her name in the 3rd episode, and then we learn about the Defense Force suits. So it's not just suits that you put on; it's supposed to unlock your potential. Mm-hmm. And Kikuru is in any anime, you're gonna have a genius, right? And Kikuru is that person.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she's her. So, and she broke the record, didn't it? It was like 46%.
Yeah, it was something stupid.
Yeah.
Like all the other test takers, when she started running on the side of the building, they were like, "What?"
Yes. Yo, she was wrecking, right? She was like on the side of the building, one shot. And she was like, yeah, y'all, I'm gonna go look for the biggest one. Y'all, whatever y'all
You
gonna
about
do,
to
whatever.
give what's her name, Mina, a run for her money.
I think so. Unless Mina hiding her potential, because Mina was doing the same thing. Like, she was doing one shots. Like, you know, when she showed up, boom, one shot through the chest. All right, y'all, clean it up, whatever. I'm gonna go take a bath with my tiger, a white tiger, by the way, that just casually sitting there like a normal house cat and does these attacks. So yeah, Kikaru definitely gonna give Mina a run. And again, Kafka potential 0%. It goes up to 0.01.
It was it was 0.001.
Yes.
Listen, I'm excited for this next episode because I feel like he's gonna do something real stupid.
Yeah.
He's gonna do something real stupid, and they're gonna be like,
So I think the whole, well, at least for right now, with Kafka being like a human kaiju hybrid, that's only gonna let it. So I mean, it's only a matter of time before we figure out there's more people like him, and maybe these kaiju's not coming out of nowhere. But it did stir Mina's interest when the little girl said, "The good kaiju saved me. Like the good kaiju beat the bad one."
Yeah, she was like, "Promise you won't hurt the good kaiju, the one who saved my mom." And she was like, "What?"
Yeah, and then
Good
Mina
kaiju.
never said anything back though. Mina, in her mind, like, kill that bastard either way, either way. Because I made a promise to myself. I made a promise to Kafka. He made a promise to me, which also that's interesting because how she didn't see Kafka in the first episode, like at cleanup. Like I know she's noticed him. Like, do they have like a relationship where he didn't make good on his promise, so she feels some kind of way about it?
I think that's it, because when she was in the bath and she had a flashback to that moment where he said that, we're going to do this together and I'll be there to support you.
Yeah.
And she was like, liar. So I do think I feel she does feel some type of way.
Yeah.
Otherwise, why? It sounded like she's not otherwise interested in the new recruits that come in, but because he was in, she actually showed up personally to watch because of him. So I think, there's definitely more to that.
And also I learned about these suits is that if your potential is not high enough, you're not able to carry certain weapons, like weight wise. But Kafka figured out the true test of this. It wasn't the kill count of the kaiju. It's like what you can produce as a team. Because you might have somebody with a high kill count. That's cool. But there's other parts of it to handle.
Part. Yep.
Yeah, there's other important parts to it. So like Kafka is handling his business, and he's doing, and considering the fact he has so much experience with cleanup, he knows weak spots of kaiju. So, which that's like very interesting to have.
Yeah,
that's very So, I mean, now also I noticed about Kikaru. I feel like Kikaru knows something about Kafka because it's something that she said about his potential, like letting it out. Like it feels like she knows something about him.
It's based off of him picking the car up in the parking lot.
Okay.
She's like, she was like, "Come on, I want to see basically show me what you've got, because I know that you're hiding it based on what I saw in the parking lot."
Okay. Yeah. And she said, "You smell a kaiju."
Yep.
And I'm like, "Hey, listen." She was ready to throw hands immediately in that parking lot. Like, you don't smell right. Some man right about you. Ichikawa had to come in. Oh, we do cleanup. We do cleanup. Relax. But I did like this episode. In any typical anime trope, like when you think it looks like this bleak, right at the last second, somebody's gonna show up and save them. Now, it did the normal anime trope, and then it got away from it at the same time. Like Kikaru saved Kafka from his shield, expanding or whatever,
and then roasted him.
And then she did the same for everybody else that she helped out. But at the same time, though, that lets us know that she's a team player. She might talk shit, but nobody's gonna die on her watch. That's what I caught from that.
Yep.
But where it deviated from the normal anime trope, though, is that it didn't increase his potential past a certain percentage. Like, it just went up 0.001%.
Well, yeah, I mean, yes, they cut it off, though. I feel like we might see some fireworks next episode. I hope we see fireworks next episode.
I'm gonna read the damn manga. I'm gonna read that because
okay.
Well, see, here what happened though. So way before the anime started, right? Way before I knew they was gonna have an anime adaptation, I started reading Kaiju No.8.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and okay. I jumped off it for whatever reason. I didn't get bored from it because it was really good. And, I read a chapter or two. All I'm doing is just going back to what I originally started in the first place. So there's that, and also just like with Go-Go Loser Ranger, there's like certain details that is out of the anime that's in the manga. So anytime though, when there's manga and anime adaptations, we already know there's certain details that's taken out because of TV time, and you want to put the most important parts in there. So that's the number one reason why I'm reading Kaiju No.8. But this thing is so damn good. Like the way this thing is marketed, Vivo, this is crazy. I never seen marketing like that for an anime before. And it's subbed and dubbed, like out the rip. Like, you ain't gotta wait on no dub. And they're giving us countdowns? Really? Countdowns for episode 3, episode 2, episode 1. I've never seen anything like it. That's crazy. That is crazy. So I'm at a certain part. I'm at the same exact spot where episode 3 ended in the manga. That's the last part I read, really. So, do you think Kafka is going to reveal his true abilities in front of the Defense Force, mainly Mina? And do you think it's going to happen much later, or you think it's going to happen a lot sooner?
I feel like he's going to release a portion of it, but not enough to get him like caught.
Okay. What about him transforming? Like, what if they're going to be a situation though where they're going to come across a kaiju that they're going to have some issues with, and he going to have to do something.
He going to have to do what he has to do. Right.
Without getting shot in the chest.
Yep.
Because Mina going to shoot first and ask questions later.
She sure will.
And that's what's going to end up happening, man. But this anime is hilarious.
It's great.
Thank you to the Geek Corner for suggesting this to us. Like, we was going to watch it, but we was hoping that this was going to be in the top 2 as far as the voting is concerned. Like, we was going to watch this anyway, but still, we want to see y'all taste, man. But that old man though, man, that's the MVP of the whole series right now for me. That man was shaking all over his body, but got the quick fist. Like, that quick draw that phone.
And it was a steady hand too. It was steady too with the phone.
He was like, beep.
He was like, I need you to get all of this.
And he couldn't see. His eyes was closed.
He saw Kafka though.
Yeah, he did. And he passed the hell out. He just stopped in the middle of the hallway in his cane. He just like, really, bro. But yeah, that is Kaiju No.8. And next show we're gonna talk about lastly is Ninja Kamui episode 12. We are getting closer and closer and closer to the end. Now we figure out who the doctor really is. And that's Ashley, a former chieftain. Ashley was killed by Yamaji, which that part was a little confusing to me. But how you feel about this episode 12?
Well, now we actually have a an exact idea of what Yamaji is going for.
Yeah.
We also have an idea of the trump card that Mike I'ma shoot at Morris has.
Uh-huh. Hands.
That was, they're like, let's set a list that we use too. He was like, turn the cameras off. And then all they heard was a scuffle.
That's all they heard. Like, what is going on in there? Like, y'all really trying to figure it out? What's going on in there? They throwing hands.
Two old men.
Yeah.
Beating each other's ass.
Yeah.
We got to see Dilly in action, which was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yes.
And yes. Yamaji was basically keeping her at bay until he decided to unveil his perfected Gukosu gear.
Yeah.
And I was like, so the final conflict is going to be with Gukosu gear, okay?
Yes, it's going to be. That was my same face when I saw that. When I saw that gear, I was like, God damn it.
But did you see at the very end, Yamaji, we saw his other eye open and it's like a double eye.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, so he has an interesting secret art.
He does.
He does. Yeah, and Joe is, or I want to say, Higan is on his way to the final showdown. So, and then you have Joseph over here in left field talking about, I'm gonna blow everything up.
Yeah, you're like, which honestly and truly, Joseph is 100% correct here, because it's like y'all aired out all his dirty laundry without realizing, like, y'all never thought about the ramifications of what's going to happen after the fact. This man owns damn near everything technology wise that y'all have access to. And he said it. He was like, did y'all forget? I'm going to remind y'all about this. No matter how much of a weirdo he is, I did feel a little bit of sympathy for Dilly, because I think Dilly's death would have hit me a little bit more if she wasn't in the gear. If it was just like a hand-to-hand.
Straight hands.
Yeah, it was like straight hands. I felt like it would have resonated more with us, really, because one of our main gripes with the whole series is that you grabbed us with the physical contact and the ninjutsu being used and different techniques or whatever. You missed us with the use of mechs. Like, that wasn't needed. So, and partially I get that part of the story. Why Yamaji did what he did, but it's like, it's not hitting the same. Like the Zai and Higan fight hit differently for us because it was hand-to-hand combat. Like, that's what we was with. That was what we was getting at. So, I mean, but Dilly, man, that's who I felt more for, man. Dilly caught it worse, though. She caught all kinds of sores in her torso. In front of Joseph, too. Like, Joseph really cared about Dilly. I think they had, like, a romantic relationship. But
Yamaji's Gokosu gear kind of reminded me a little bit of Yoshimitsu from Soul Calibur.
Yo, yeah. Yeah. That's a perfect analogy. That's what kind of remind me of. And Yoshimitsu got several. He has several different costumes. Whether it's Soul Calibur or Tekken, but
hated him and all of them. Anyways,
yeah, he's a little bit of a son of a bitch in Tekken 8 too. Like,
so is Valdo.
Let's not talk about Valdo.
My brother can do that. My brother can do he can do that walk, and every time when he feels like it, he'll start doing the walk just to like get under my skin. And he'll walk towards me doing that. It's the most annoying thing ever. I try to swing on him, but he's too big and I can't do anything.
Yeah, people used to do that to me. I used to punish that a lot. Like, so I see the little animation, I'm like, you get knocked out the ring, sir, ma'am. Like, I got Killick, because Killick is like long range. He has that bow staff, so it can reach. So, but yeah, but we learned about like the doctor and the history, and Higan wants to know, why did you help us? And he was like, our ninja way, way he kind of said, yeah, it was wrong, but I really wanted to see you three. Amori really took her fate in her own hands. Like, she know eventually this might happen. But with him saying that, though, I mean, because I was with Higan when it came down to the rage. Because, you know, you saw the first episode, the amount of rage he had, and he's like on this clear revenge path. But once you find out that Mori knew this was going to happen eventually, like, do you have that same amount of rage?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Because she consciously made her choice.
Yeah.
Knowing that this was going to happen.
Yeah. So, then we know the perfect explanation to Joe Higan's power, right? What his secret art is. And he was like, how you know about my secret art? Then, okay, of course, the chieftain. He's like,
because I gave it to you, basically.
Yeah, I know what it is. So, is the chieftain's secret art reincarnation? Because he no longer have his ninjutsu arts, right?
I think his secret art has to do with cats. Because when Higan was like, so how did you divide? Because listen, Yamaji decapitated him. For all intents and purposes, that should have been it.
Yeah.
But notice, a cat was with him in the beginning when he was still alive, and then there was multiple cats, and one had his head in its mouth. And then when Higan asked him, how did you survive? He was like, well, a cat has 9 lives.
Yeah.
So it has to do with something tied to cats. So he probably has some kind of reincarnation, because he also said that he lost all his ninja techniques.
Yeah.
Abilities. So
yeah, he said, I can't fight Yamaji. Only you can do that.
Probably would make sense if he's essentially reincarnated into a new body, which I don't know if his yeah, because he was only able to reveal his true self to Joe, and then he reverted back into the little old man, the old doctor.
He was like, yeah, you know, I can nurse you. This is what it is, but your heart is the one that needs healing, not your physical body. I like, oh, there might be some philosophical shit. And then that's when he revealed who he is. I'm like, I knew something was weird about him. But I do like that aspect of it. This was one of the better episodes. Yeah, we got one more. It looking less and less of Emma not coming back. That's another gripe that I have. It's like, she survived so much, and only to kill her off right here. Then, I mean, you know, Mike shoot him up Morris, you know, should have Mike throw them hands Morris, because I mean, he just can't just throw the cut off and just like, all right. I mean, they got the same wounds.
Listen, so when they were fighting, and Mike did this gorilla stomp, he was like, I was like, bro, stop playing into the stereotype.
Oh my gosh, man! I was like, come on, Morris.
But they listen each other's butts.
At least he's surviving this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
He's surviving this whole time. I mean, he's definitely the character that's looking forward to it. And I know Morris said I strategically marked out some of the names, but your boss is one of them. Just to let you know. And I get it, but I don't get it. Like with the throwing hands part, I get all that. But Yamaji, like I'm trying to figure out how this thing really going to end. Like, is Higan going to lose his life as well? Zai is not dead, so Zai might end up helping Higan. Who knows? And that might end up being what it is. I mean, typically the one thing though about these 12 or 13 episode anime where there's no season, lately, whenever you see those, the ending is not happy. Cyberpunk Edge Runners, nah.
You keep bringing up.
I'm just saying.
Traumatic experience.
Angel Beats, that's another one. Angel Beats.
I haven't seen Angel Beats. Did I watch that all the way to the end? Probably. It's been a long time.
You couldn't have, because trust me, if I said Angel Beats, you would have a certain look on your face.
So then I got to go back and I know I watched some of it because it actually used to be, they had it on DVD at the video store.
Yeah, they had it on Netflix, I think. It's on Crunchyroll
really?
too, man.
Okay.
I think they had it on at one point. Speaking of which, City Hunter Is that on Netflix? So I'm gonna watch that. But
is that the live action? That's the live action, isn't it?
Yeah, it's live action. So
I just saw they made an announcement. They are releasing Solo Leveling. What is it called? It focuses on Jinu's son. Exactly. I'm like, we haven't even finished first Solo Leveling. How you already released? It's a continuation of the webtoon.
Okay.
I
mean, it's 50-50. But Angel Beats, though, Angel Beats ended in tears. That's what that did. I mean, not like me crying, but the actual show, like, it ended in tears. Like, but hopefully this breaks the trope. Hopefully Higan leaves this final showdown alive, as well as Zai, and both of them kind of like go off and be, live their lives or whatever. Because, I don't know. If all of them die, it's like, what's the point?
Or maybe Higan ends up dying, but he leaves basically his will to Zai to carry on and find something more.
Oh, that could be the case. Or they start a ninja clan of their own with a different set of rules.
I don't see that. I just don't see Joe surviving now that Emma's not there, because he doesn't have... I mean, admittedly, Zai is still alive, Mike is still alive, Jason's still alive.
Yeah.
But his entire reason for fighting in the first place are gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, we'll see what happens. One more this Saturday. We'll see.
We'll see. I don't know. Yes, I'm ready for it to end, but I need like a bow wrapped around this ending, like something like a feel good type of thing. Like,
yeah,
we've been riding with Joe Higan from episode 1. So, and it started off great. It kind of plateaued a little bit when it started introducing mechs, and then it picked it back up again with the battle between Higan and Zai. This episode here, more throwing their hands, and hopefully, I don't know. They just introduced this new gear for Yamaji, so I think this whole fight is going to be like that. It's like you introduce this thing as this new powerful armor, only for it to be like shattered in the next episode. Like, that's a lot to do in a 20-minute time span.
Oh, we'll see.
Only time will tell, folks. Only time will tell. But yeah, tomorrow, myself and my new co-host and Alvin Staley will be talking pro wrestling. Man, we got some new signees that signed in with AEW, All Elite Wrestling, and we're gonna talk about the storylines. We got a new champion in Swerve Strickland. It's the first African American champion in AEW.
Whoop, whoop.
So we got that. Definitely gonna be covering that. And if you haven't watched X-Men 97, please, for the love of God, watch X-Men 97. It has no business being that peak. I'm telling you right now, that is the best Marvel project that Disney has put out. Period. I'm gonna be as bold as say this is better than Infinity War. This is better than Endgame. Like, X-Men 97 is legit, like all caps. Like, no, there's no pressure. Like, they apply pressure to everybody. Like any other movie coming out, you got to be on the same level as X-Men 97, because they came with the heat. And these last 3 episodes that's coming in the next 3 weeks, part 1, 2, and 3, it's gonna hit you. It's gonna hit you. So if you haven't watched X-Men 97 yet, go ahead and watch X-Men 97. You got anything else for the listeners?
Nope.
You say nope. Nope. Right. Well, that is our show for today, and we will be back tomorrow night. Myself and Alvin Staley talking pro wrestling talk. So until next time, y'all. Peace.
Bye, y'all.